So this is an interesting comment. Let's read this comment and dive into it here. It says, Tom always seems to do well when Trump is the president. Funny how that works. Yeah, funny how that works. Let's talk about that. The first time around, Donald Trump was obviously president from January 20th, 2017 to January 20th, 2020. Just before my wife, Trump became the president, my wife began to really make a lot of money. Before Trump became president, at the tail end of Obama. She was doing good over the years and just steadily went up in salary. And in the last couple of years of Obama, really exploded in salary and began to make money that we didn't think the two of us were going to make together, let alone either one of us would make alone. That was under Obama, not Trump. And so a couple of years into the Trump presidency, when she was still making that high elevated level of income, she came to me and encouraged me to retire, which I did. In February of 2018, I retired at the age of 45. Sold off my equipment, shut my company down, and that was it. Wrote a book, started a podcast, and just started having fun with my life. Then his trade policies began to severely hurt my wife's industry. She was in the bulk agricultural export commodity industry. She shipped soybeans and corn and dried distillers grain to Southeast Asia from U.S. facilities. Trump's policies actually hurt that, and she had to contract the amount of people working for her. She had to dial back on the amount of people working for her. And then we went into the pandemic, and his policies really put a damper on things. Because one of the things that still had to happen was food products, agricultural commodities still had to be moved. But his policies hurt that even further, and she had to lay off even more people and contract even more people and put so much stress on her that it contributed to a heart attack that she had in 2020. And then obviously, we came out of that pandemic, and things kind of went back to normal. She changed companies, went to go work for another company. That company was run by a hardcore Trump supporter, and that company, which had been around for 25 years, but that hardcore Trump supporter bought just about 3 or 4 years before my wife got there, he managed to drive that into the ground and bankrupt it in 5 years. So she went to go work for him, and shortly after that, he went under. Enter Donald Trump a second time, right? Here we are, we're in the Trump era. My wife's company has gone under. She's been trying to find a job in bulk agricultural exporting, and the industry keeps contracting more and more and more, and a lot of it has to do with the tariffs. A lot of it has to do with the tariffs, and so she can't land a job in that industry. We are both mobile notaries that are capable of handling closing documents for closing and title companies, but even the housing market isn't doing what it used to do now that we have Trump in office and there's a lot of uncertainty. So all of the industries that we know how to make money on, we see contracting under Trump's policies. So what's the one thing that's paying us? Me talking about what a piece of shit Trump is and how horrible his policies are. Odd how that works out, huh? All of the traditional avenues are hurting because of Donald Trump. They have hurt in the past because of him, and they hurt now because of him. But the business that's booming is telling the world what a fucking jagoff he is. So thank you for commenting so I could make yet another video that I could monetize telling you what an asshole Donald Trump is. Business is good right now.